everyone on FlossTube. Welcome to the Sun City Stitchers channel. I'm Carlene.
And I'm Marlene, and this is episode number 24.
We started this once. We had to stop it because we both realized we wanted our sodas, which we got earlier in the afternoon, and we put them in the fridge here at my house. So
while we went to dinner.
This is take 2.
Yes.
But we are glad you are joining us. I'm extra happy because I am officially on vacation now.
I know, lucky you.
I know.
Got a whole week off. That'll be so nice.
It is going to be nice. I have some stuff I want to get done.
You're gonna work on some finishing.
I am going to work on some finishing. So I don't have a lot to do, but I have some finishing I want to get done.
And several of the things are going to go really fast. They're little easy finishes. Right.
And then we have some things that we're getting ready for that are like surprises for camp, the end of the month. And so I'm going to be working on some of those things. Marlene's going to be working on some things with me, so we're going to be busy.
Yes.
But we wanted to start out this week by just sharing some of the things that we have on display in our house, in our houses for October. So Marlene, do you want to start? Do you want to show something?
Yeah, I'll start with these little things.
Okay.
I got kind of put far away. Okay, I'll show you this one first. This is just Nan. It's called Over the Top. Oh, and Cardi needs to fix this part because the
little twisted cord is coming a little loose there. So
anyway, it's called Over the Top, and it's in the shape of a little witch's hat. Carlene finished it for me. And then inside I have
a little pin cushion. Yeah, she's got a needle that's poked in here for now.
And then inside you can keep little things, and I have all kinds of mess in there because I just threw all my pins and needles in there.
And little magnets. And yes, so that's those are very cute.
Yes.
This was actually her second year of this series. I did the first year that was called Over the Top, and this one was mine. And each one of mine came with...
Oh, that's cute too.
Yes, and I loved the little charm in the center. So these were Lizzie Kate.
This little pin thing came with it.
Some of them I used the fabric it called for. Some of them I didn't. But this one also made a little needle book. There was a little needle book. So isn't that a darling finish?
Look how cute it is in the back.
And then the back was like
just
this.
Adorable.
Yeah, really cute. And this little tie then just unties, and you can open it, and then you have your little needle book inside.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it was a fun, I guess now I didn't show you. So it opens up like this, and then there's a little needle book here. So just a little that tucked inside here.
That's really cute.
So so it just folds back up and ties in a little bow.
Some of mine came with little things like that, but this one did not. This one didn't come with anything on the inside.
I'm surprised.
But I know. But like the
was it because we made the pincushion witch hat?
Yeah, probably.
Yes, so you stitched this that went on the top.
Right.
I need to add a little more glue to that.
Yes.
And then then this was a stitched piece.
Yeah, and
because
then that went on top. Yeah,
yes,
that's why.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, and but like my one that I have for the winter, it has the cardinals. And it has the cute little mitten inside.
Oh, that's right. And was that a needle book also?
Yes, it was a needle book.
And then we each have one of these. These were Faithwurks Designs. And they're little boxes too. Mine says Boo Boo Kitty. And then it says Bring on the Treats.
Mine doesn't.
Forget the tricks. Bring on the treats.
And mine doesn't say anything. It just has little Halloween
witches
and
ghosts, witch hats,
brooms,
spiders, a moon with bats.
And mine, what does it say? Fall is my
little broom.
And
the cat says fall is my favorite.
Yeah.
So this was something that Nancy had. She'd gotten the resin figures. Again, if you don't, I chose to do them. Well, actually they were boxes. I painted the boxes, and then you put the banding and the twisted cord around the base of the box. This one, it went around the rim of the box. So, but if you are not part of the Faithwurks Vintage Trunk Show, these are the kinds of things that she has odds and ends left over, and so she will do. She'll pull them out and do a sale on some of the leftovers. So it's just a nice thing to belong to, because you never know what she might drag out of her little vintage trunk and put on sale. So she's had really cute designs in the past. Then what do you want to show next?
I think I'll show this one. Oh, good, she came in.
Oh, good.
This is one that I did several years ago. It's by Holiday Sparrow, right? Holiday Sparrow. And it's the Halloween Boo Guys.
And it was a series, the Tall Guys.
The Tall Guys.
And there were a whole bunch of different
ones.
You can see there were some different stitches.
It was really fun.
And then, of course, their beards and mustaches are colonial knots.
French knots, whichever. So
this is so
it was
cute.
fun. It was really fun.
It's such a cute design. I did one several years ago, and I do not know who the designer was, but they were designed for perforated paper, but I changed the designs up depending on what I wanted. Like I picked out buttons and changed it a little bit. So this was my Halloween one, and I made use of the blocks. So on the other side of the block, I put the St. Patrick's Day, for March. So, but right now, of course, this is the side that's displayed because it's October, it's Halloween.
Really
so these were fun, quick and easy. I actually made 2 sets of these because I gave one set to Mrs. Haynes.
Oh, yes.
When I was an assistant principal, I gave a set to my principal as a Christmas gift.
Yeah, I remember you doing that.
Yes, it was fun.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay, and then this is the other one.
This, if you remember, I showed mine. It was a framed piece. Marlene decided not to go to the expense of framing, and she wanted me to finish this. So this was one that I finished. This is Cider House Gardens by
Liz Turner-Deal.
Liz Turner-Deal, that's right. And so this one, I mounted the stitched piece, and then had a background, and then a second background. And the back, she actually hangs it with she had a ribbon, but she also has a doodad up here. She wants, up here on the top, she wants to hang it from this.
Yeah, I can't remember how I hung it. Right.
I actually think it was hanging from the little twisted cord on the top.
So
that's that one. Finished a little different. It wasn't framed, but it turned out really pretty.
It did. I love it.
And then I have another design. That was Nancy's Faithwurks design. This was one of her trifolds called Spell.
Oh, that's so
And
cute.
this was an overdyed silk. And I kind of think I went crazy with the overdyed silk and the vapors coming out. But it was very fun, and I wanted all those colors. And the little cat down here is cute. This one is finished as a trifold. So the stitch piece gets mounted, and then you have a backing. You sandwich your little ties in between, and then a backing fabric with a second piece that's sandwiched, and the ribbons in the middle. And then you leave a flap up here at the top to make your tent. I don't know if I have any of these left to finish, but this would be a cute one to demonstrate.
Yeah.
Then the twisted cord goes all the way around to kind of, cover the raw edges. So this one's Spell. That's Faithwurks design.
That's very cute. Okay, then I'm going to do this big one. This is Lizzie Kate's Halloween Mystery.
So cute.
And Carlene finished
Did
that
you
one for me,
save that pattern?
too. I think
I
I still
think
have
I
it.
would like to do that
I
one.
think I still have it.
It is really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this
Really
is
cute.
another one I finished. And so
It's
the
really
stitched piece, and then more of a solid, and then the back, this backing board I did a Halloween print, and it turned out cute. The oranges
Yes.
are right. This, remember, is that trim that we got at camp, and I have used it on a whole bunch of projects.
Yes, you have.
And then
I
it's
have
just a
several
solid
things.
black on the back.
Yeah, so it's really
So
cute. It's
yeah,
so cute.
I love that project. And you have this on an easel, don't
Yeah.
you?
Mm-hmm.
She has a large easel that she just stands in on one of her places.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, you know what? Will you go let Charlie know Minnie came inside? Because he's out there looking for her.
Okay.
And this is a cross-eyed cricket, an old pattern. My oldest sister, Linda, finished it for me as a pillow. She used this funky fringe, which I love. And I used all different flosses on this and different fibers, I should say. So some of them are sparkly, some of them are glow in the dark.
That's so cute.
I had lots of buttons that I added. The bats up here on the moon. This was a really fun project. I did it years ago. It's on pretty big count. As you can see, my pillow is pretty big. I don't know what count it is, but it's sparkly and it looks cute for Halloween night.
It does. Uh-huh.
Sparkly stars.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
Very
this is
cute.
probably one of my most favorite projects that I've ever stitched.
That's really
I loved that project.
And then this is another one. And it's actually the small, so I go with the Halloween, Little Lizzie Kate Halloween Mystery. So I stitched those.
These one came with each part,
Yes,
right?
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then we just put them together as a one.
On one panel.
On one panel, yes.
I finished this one too. And actually this ribbon was it came on a stitcher box that we got at camp, and I reused the ribbon because it had all those spider webs and everything, and it was so perfect to go around the boxes. So yeah, that turned out really cute. And what did they say?
Spooky.
Is it? I can't read it backwards. Oh, haunted, spooky, and scary.
Yeah. And
really cute.
I did.
That's cute.
Yeah, I did. Did I do them over? No, I didn't do them over one.
They look like they're on a little bit bigger count, like maybe 18 count, and you did it over one. My last one is another Faithwurks design, and it was one of her lollipop series. So there was the little witch up at the top, and then it has little bats flying around up here. A big bow tied at the bottom, and then on the spool, it's just a little parade of trick-or-treaters.
That's so cute.
It is really cute, and it was a very fast stitch, very fun. Was very fun to do. So that's my I don't remember what she called this one. The backing fabric is adorable.
Yes, that's really cute.
I don't remember what she called this one. Anyway, it was Faithwurks Design, and it was her Halloween lollipop. So really cute. I love all my Halloween.
I know, I do too.
Decorations.
I do too.
So
Mine too.
That's what we have on display. As I mentioned, we're going to be doing, I'm going to be working on some finishing and some stuff in the craft room. And so we thought we'd jump right in and take you along with us to the craft room and do the first project. So we're going to do that next.
We're going to do a scissor fob.
Yes, a scissor
Yes,
fob.
she's
I'm going to
finish
show
a
you
scissor
how
fob.
I finish a scissor fob. It's actually one that you've seen because it was one that Marlene was working on to finish her. It was a Lizzie Kate.
Yes.
Also a little mystery. It was
Yeah.
called a little mystery.
Little
Was
Mystery,
the
yeah.
design.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do the small on one of the smalls, and as I finished a little scissor fob. So we will invite you to the craft room now.
Okay, so we're back here in Carlene's craft room. And so, Carlene, why don't you show us what you're going to be finishing today?
Okay, well, you may remember earlier this summer, Marlene was working on a Lizzie Kate. It was called A Little Mystery. And she had some smalls that went with the project. And so she had finished these, and they are going to be a scissor fob. So today I'm going to show you how I make the scissor fobs. One is going to be the front, the other is going to be the back. And to do this, we need a few things. First of all, of course, we have our stitched piece. I have already ironed on a lightweight fusible interfacing. I just use this. It's a sheer weight. It just kind of helps stabilize the stitched piece so that it doesn't stretch over time. So I've ironed that onto the back. I'm going to be using just a regular hand embroidery thread. I bought this at Hobby Lobby.
It's like quilting,
And
right?
it's for quilting, for hand quilting. It's a hand quilting thread because I don't have a sewing machine, so I do all my finishing by hand. And then we're going to be stuffing it with a combination of fiberfill and these walnut shells. These are actually used, you see what they're just really fine. They are, you can find them at the pet store. I got mine at PetSmart in the reptiles section because they use them in bedding for reptiles. And so those are the supplies. We're also, Marlene has chosen this really cute, dainty, bright pink rickrack. That's going to be the trim. It goes really cute with the pinks that are on the project. So this is what's going to be the trim around the scissor fob. So we have the pink rickrack also. And I want to show you something. This was the project that I finished when Nancy Waller from Faithwurks and I did a collaboration finish. And she finished the mini easel. I have just a little bit left to do. I need to trim off the thread because there's a needle that's just stuck in here. And I need to get my thread the way I want it and trim it. But that is done. So Nancy demonstrated finishing that. And I demonstrated this one. And I'm not quite finished. I have a little bit left to do. I have to add a little decoration up here. But I'm not happy with it because it's not as firm as I would like it. It's kind of floppy. And so what I'm going to do is tear the rickrack out and then take the side seam out and add a little more. And I actually, I'm going to use the same method that I'm going to demonstrate today and use a combination of the fiberfill and the pecan shells just to give it a little bit more firmness because it's just floppy and I want it to be nice and firm. So that's what I'm going to be demonstrating today. So to start with, like I said, I've already ironed the fusible interfacing onto the back of both of the stitched pieces. And you will also notice that I've marked a 1/4 inch seam allowance on all 4 sides. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to begin stitching around the sides and I'm going to leave a couple of inches unsewn on one side. And that's where I will stuff it with the fiberfill. So when you're sewing pieces, you sew with the right sides together. So I want to make sure I've got both of my pieces. You know, this is going to be the bottom. This is the bottom. I want to make sure that I've got them matched up correctly. Now I will pin it and then sew. So we'll take a minute and do that and we'll show you the next step. Okay, so now I have stitched on all the sides. If you want to see, this is where I started. And I just went over the stitch like 3 or 4 times. And then it's just a running stitch that runs all the way along. And then here is my ending stitch. So again, I ended the same way I started and just went back over the top of that same thread 2 or 3 times and then cut it off close to the fabric. So now what I'm going to do is take this and I'm going to be turning it right side out. And then the next step will be to poke the corners out so that they're nice and pointed. Okay. So I've got my piece turned and now you'll see like this corner. See how it's not pointy because it needs to be kind of pushed out. I like to use my sewing scissors because it does not have a really sharp point and yet it's got enough of a point that I can slip it inside.
And get into those corners.
Right, and get into the corners and then I just use the scissors and kind of push that fabric out so that my corner just gets, I don't want it to be really sharp and pointy, but I don't want the fabric and the seam to be stuck inside there. So I've got that, and I think the bottom ones are about as good as I can get them, or the sides. So I'm gonna press this just a little now, so I'm going to come over here to my pressing mat and I'm going to just give it a quick little press. I don't want to press too hard because I don't want to squish my threads, but it does need to be flattened just a little bit and get those seams covered or pressed. So that's probably enough. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of fiber fill. And anytime you use this fiber fill, you never want to take it from the bag and then shove it right in there. You want to pull and fluff it. And so you just keep pulling it apart until you feel like all those fibers are separated.
I think you've showed this on another one too, so this is a little...
I may have, so this is a review or somebody who didn't see an earlier one, because if you skip this step, that's why your finished piece, your pillow or your scissor fob is going to be lumpy.
Yeah.
That's right. So you pull, 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 pull. Oops, I better not leave that down there. Kitties will take it. And I'm going to shove a little bit of fiber fill down into this piece. And then I'm going to put some of my pecan shells in there. And I'm using both, like I said earlier, because I want it to be nice and firm, but I also want to make sure that as I'm, I do need that measuring cup. I want to make sure that as I'm sewing it together, that it is, okay, I need to fill over the container here so that I don't make such a big mess.
And do you pack those down then too?
Well, usually the walnut shells you don't need to pack down.
Okay.
I'm going to today because I've got fiber fill in the bottom. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to get this nice and filled as full as I want it. Then I'm going to add some more fiber fill because it will hold the walnut shells in. Because what happened in my last one was I just tried to use straight walnut shells because I wanted the weight of the walnut shells. But then they're so small, they slide out while I was trying to sew it together. And
how annoying.
So, yes, it was very annoying. So what I'm going to do now is put a little bit more fiber fill. So same process, just separating the fiber fill. And I'm going to put this little dab right on the top and then pin the opening closed. I'm going to sew a little bit And then I'm probably going to have to add a little more fiberfill because I want it to be nice and firm. And see how nice it's getting?
That looks good.
Yes, very nice and firm. And so see, I can already see that I need still more fiberfill because I want it to be really packed in there so that we don't have floppy corners. See how this corner is floppy down here? I don't want a floppy corner. I want it to be nice and firm. So I'm going to just keep stuffing, and then so I'm going to add a little more fiberfill. But when I go to sew the opening closed, what's going to happen is this little 1/4 inch seam right here is going to get folded in. Same way with on this side. And see how those,
do you make it stretch?
See how those little, and then it's going to get pinned shut, and I will whip it shut. Stitch it shut. Okay. So let me mess with this a little bit, and then we'll come back and show you my progress. Okay. So I've whip stitched this side together now. And what I'm ready to do is just tie off. And when I do that, I simply take my needle and I run it underneath a couple of stitches here and a couple of stitches or threads really on the other side. And I do that just probably a couple of times. Just through the last stitch a couple of times, bring my needle through that loop and pull it tight. And then I take my needle down inside the pillow and back out just to bury that little knot down inside so that you don't see it. Now I will use my scissors and trim very close to the fabric. I pull it because that way when you snip it, that little end just sinks back in.
Goes back in. Oh, so that turned out so cute.
There's the front with the pretty little charm, and then there's the back.
Oh, that's
so now
cute.
The next step is to take the rickrack, and it is going to be placed right along the seam. I never want to start on a corner. Actually, I take that back. I am going to start on a corner for this.
Because you're going to make a loop?
Because there's going to be a loop for the scissor fob. So I am actually going to start on a corner. And I'm going to measure. Let me put this to the side before I spell it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rickrack and kind of lay it along here around the corners so that I get an idea of how much rickrack I need to go around the perimeter of this little pillow, and then down to this corner. And now, Marlene, how long would you like your loop? Do you want it about like that?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, and I have to keep in mind that what I'm going to do is tie like a little knot. So I'm going to add probably a good 6 inches to that. And so I'm going to trim. You will notice I was not very exact. You did not see me measure. You did not. I'm just by sight. It's like, okay, here's what we're going to do. Do you want your knot up here in this corner?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start in the opposite corner. I'm going to start.
And do you pin it, or do you just stitch it on?
I do pin it a little.
Okay.
But I'm going to fold my rickrack in the middle, and this fold is going to go on the corner that's diagonal from where Marlene wants her loop to hang for her scissor fob. So it's going to go here. And what I'm going to do now then is sew the rickrack. And this is where I'm going to pin it, right here. And I'm going to sew the rickrack around, and then I'll have extra hanging. Then I'll go back to this side, and I'm going to sew the rick rack around here.
Oh.
And I'll have extra hanging. And then I will demonstrate how I tie the knot so that we have the loop.
Okay.
Okay? So I've added the rickrack now around all of the sides. I've got the two ends here. You'll see Marlene selected a pink that matches exactly, which for rickrack, you kind of have to decide whether you want it to be contrasting so it shows up or whether you want it to be blending in. In this case, I think it looks best that it blends in. So I've tied a little knot here. And these are just tiny little tacking stitches that go through the rickrack into and then into the pillow. And so now what I'm going to do is these are the extras that I made. This is what's going to form the loop. And what I'm going to do is just tie a little overhand knot like this and pull it nice and tight so that it sits right here at the corner of the pillow. See how I've got a little knot there now that just sits right at the corner of the pillow?
That's cute.
So, and then we can do either two things. We can take and match up the ends and just sew over it a few times, like if she wanted the loop to be this long, then I would just sew here and then she would have a loop, or we can just make a second knot.
Yeah, the knot is good.
Look at Marlene, a knot. And so she wanted her loop to be about this long. And so I'm going to tie a little knot, nice and tight. And then using my sharp, oh, sorry, because I'm moving around. So I tied the little knot. Let me just separate. And now there are the little ends. And what I'm going to do is just snip them off at the top. And so now
so cute.
her scissor fob is ready to use.
Yay, that's so cute.
So that is how I finish scissor
turned out
fobs.
really, really cute.
Yes, and it's got a really nice weight because it's got those walnut shells in there, and yet it's stuffed nice. So very nice.
Really cute. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. If you have questions about finishing, I'm certainly by no means an expert. None of my stuff is perfect. And as I showed you, there's one that I'm going to take it out and redo it because I'm just not happy. Uh-oh, Mickey's here. No. Mickey, you stay down, Bubba. No, because he's going to get up and chew on the straw. No, get down, Mickey. Get down. But, you know, if you have questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to help or ask somebody else. You know, we have a friend that's an excellent finisher, Terry. Yes. And so I can always ask her opinion too. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And so now, Marlene, let's talk about what we stitched this week.
I have to pick my stuff up because Mickey messed it all up.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll start with something that I did. And he's sitting on it. I have been working. Well, I worked, and I thought I was going to get so much stitching time this week because I only worked half day. But then it turned out that I met a friend for lunch on Monday, and okay, you know what? You can get down now. And then on Tuesday, I can't remember what happened. Oh, Tuesday I did get to stitch. Wednesday we had doctor's appointments. Yesterday I had a principal's meeting that turned out to be all day instead of half a day. But I still did get quite a bit of stitching done. And so to start with, let me go ahead and I guess I'll show you one of my, well, I'll show you changing seasons because I know that was the last thing I had left to do on that. And so I got all 4 corners done with the flowers now.
Oh, you have all 4 of them done.
Yes,
oh,
and
that's good.
I did each corner a different color. So spring, the flowers that are the little buds or whatever up here in the corner, I did each one of those a different color. So purple for spring, yellow for summer, kind of an orangey, yellowish, brownish color for fall, and the dark red for winter.
Oh, that's good.
And then I started this summer corner box, which was a grid. So I've chosen the colors I'm going to do in that corner. So I got a good start on that.
Yeah.
So because I had to do this for, I did 100 stitches, probably 200 stitches on college game day for North Dakota State and got all caught up on that. And then I had to do stitches for homework as well, and it was 500 stitches. So it finished the last flower plus the stitches in the corner here for that. So that was that.
I did not get very much stitching done this week because my students are off, some of my students are off from school, and so my tutoring kind of stretches out all day.
And it's more chopped up time than for stitching.
Yeah, so I didn't get very much done.
Plus, we were at the doctor forever on Wednesday, and then you got your hair cut.
Yeah, and I got my hair cut, and then I had to do lesson plans on Wednesday, so I haven't had very much time to stitch. But I did get a little bit done, so I guess that's good. So I worked on changing seasons, and I'm still catching up from week 4 on my college game day. So, okay, which way? Okay, it goes this way. Okay, so I got that fall flower done here at the bottom.
Oh, down here on the bottom.
I got that done.
Such pretty colors. Really pretty. Now, let's just show. So this is the summer then with the purples. And the springs, she has used the pinks. And I counted the stitches. It's 359 stitches just for that motif.
Oh, okay.
Just for that motif.
I think so. When I counted, I think I got 366, so I probably counted wrong.
Or, well, I could have counted wrong.
But anyway, it's close enough.
Then I worked on, for number 9 is El Paso, UTEP. They won. So I worked on this.
Oh, so you started doing...
I finished the back stitching on the Craftsman Cottage, and I got started on the beach bungalow, just kind of the little wharf. Yes, it's so fun. So I hope you tell ones this week too, so that I get to stitch on this.
That's really cute.
That one.
I'm working on my... which one am I working on?
The A-frame, the awesome A-frame.
That's the one I'm working on. Okay. Then I stitched on Autumn Hydrangea Fog. This was for Georgia. And so I got... I
might as well show mine too while you're showing yours.
I got my...
I'll put it down. This is a chatelaine.
Yes, this is a chatelaine. Let me see here.
Oh, you started working on those ferny...
Yes, I got the ferny. I got the corner squares done. Those were done with the treasure braid. And then I did the little ferny things.
These corner squares here. Okay, and then you started on the ferny leaves.
And I'm just going to go down the side. Pretty. I'm just going to keep going down the side and around.
That's good.
So, so it was really fun. I really liked doing
I worked on my Autumn Hydrangea Fog. This is actually for my number 1, Alabama.
You got a lot, didn't
you? Yours is for number 3, right?
Yes, mine is number 3.
And I assigned my Autumn Hydrangea Fog to the number 1 team, Alabama. my number 1 team. And so I got the round road stitches
those
done.
Those were fun, weren't they?
They were very fun.
I really like doing those.
And so I'm ready now to do that back stitch line that goes around here. And so yeah, it's coming along.
Yes, it's fun.
This is one of our October Stitchtober projects. So we're gonna keep working on that.
Yes. This is mine. Okay, and then the other one, the last one I worked on for this week was quilted bees.
The long dog sampler, quilted bees.
And I got, which way? Let's go this way.
Oh, wow.
This one done.
You got a lot done.
I don't know, I might end up taking out this green up here.
It looks just like a quilt.
It does. Little different pieces of fabric. So
oh, that's so pretty.
Yes.
I worked on that one as well, but I'm just working on this square right here, so I don't have quite as much done as you.
Well, I put tons of extra stitches in on
well, because it's really fun to stitch.
It is.
So that I'm working on that one. That one's is for my number 2 team, also Ohio State.
So. And that's all I got done, so I don't have anything else to show.
My number 3 team is Georgia, and I'm working on Poison Garden. That's the project I assigned.
Oh my
and
gosh,
so
that's beautiful.
I got the back stitching put in here on this middle plant here. I finished all of the cross stitching in this arch, and I got all of the back stitching done on this plant and the name of the plant put in, and I got the little skull and crossbones put in. It had to be stitched and back stitched, and this is going to be the little spider up here at the top.
Let me oh. And do all of the arches have that?
They each have the little skull and crossbones at the top. And then it says it's part of the sign, because then up here we'll backstitch the words, "These plants can kill."
Oh.
So that's why there's the skull and crossbones, like a warning sign.
Okay.
And so this one is coming along nicely.
Yes.
It's very fun. And
I'm
each of the arches, I think, are going to be labor intensive. Because the arches themselves take a long time, and then the plants inside the arches take a long time.
People saying they took a long time.
And then, so that was my number 3. My number 4 team was Ohio State. Cincinnati. Cincinnati? No.
No, I don't know what you have for.
Yeah, it's the same as your number 4.
Oh, Clemson.
Clemson. And I'm doing Tempting Teas. I got all caught up. So I had a little bit of week 3 left, and I had 4 things to stitch on week. I believe I had 4 things to stitch on week 4 and 4 to stitch on week 5. And I got all the stitching done.
I thought you had 6 to do on week 5.
Yes, but I think I'd already stitched 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
So this is what I did. I started this word right here. Well, all I did was this little blue word right here, like the first 4 letters.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the other St. Francis.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, okay. That you only have like 1 line of print.
Yeah, I still only have 1 line of print. I love that. It's done. That's the Tempting Tangles design.
It's done with
called Tempting Teas, and it's done with Dinky Dyes. So that's my number 5. My number 4. My number 5 was Prayer of St. Francis, and I believe Notre Dame. Either Notre Dame lost, or I'd already stitched them, because I didn't stitch on them this week. Then my number 6 team was Arkansas. I'd already stitched. I showed Moonlight Garden last time.
Yeah.
And then my number 7 is Mizzou, and I had not stitched Mizzou yet, but I got it stitched. I stitched and added some stitches. I got out the gray and added.
Did you work on the whale?
Whale. I added some more stitches on the whale. Just a few stitches. He's very big. And so I added a few gray stitches, 100 stitches, and got that done.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you get that color that you're missing?
I'm stuck on this one because I need the anchor floss color is 1044, and I don't have it. And I've tried ordering it, and it doesn't come. So I think I'm going to have to just go back to what the DMC number is and just get that floss and use that, because I can't move on until I stitch that. Because
you should have looked at Hobby Lobby today.
I didn't even think about it.
No, I didn't either.
The way that challenge works, I have to do the floss colors in the order that they gave them to us. And so I'm stuck right now. I can go back and stitch on something that I haven't, a color that I've already used, but I can't use another color or like skip a color and go on. So
you're kind of far behind on that one, huh?
I'm very far behind on that one. Probably like 2 months behind on that one. I know, it's not exciting.
So once you get that color, you're gonna have to stitch like crazy to get caught up.
Mizzou is my number 7 pick. My number 8 pick is Florida State, and they have 1. And so I added some more stitches here.
That's so pretty.
So I got this side done.
Oh my gosh,
that green color, and then I started adding in another green color here because I had to add 200 stitches. I was behind 1 week.
And what is the green? What is it for? Like mountains?
It's mountains.
Okay.
It's mountains, and it's like mountains and a rainforest, and then there's a waterfall in Treasure Braid that comes right down almost the center of the block.
Yes,
so I worked on Hawaii, number 8.
That's very pretty.
And then so my one homework was a project that I needed advice on, which was my changing seasons. And the other homework task that I had was to work on something using the internet or stitching off my tablet. And so I did that design. That was a freebie. It was a gift from Hands Across the Sea. And it was kind of a tribute, to the Queen. And so it says, though absent, yet beloved, 2022. And so I got the wording all put in. I'm doing this over one. I'm not sure what count. It's the...
I can't tell.
I don't know what count it is, but I'm doing it over 1 because I wanted it to fit on this piece of fabric. It is scraps from my collaboration piece with just Nan.
I think that was 28 count. We did it on 28 count.
With Faithwurks Designs and Sue Hillis Designs. And so this was a scrap piece, and then there will be a banding that says, God bless the Queen, long live the King. And so this is going to be just a tiny little petite drum. So this will be the top
that's cute.
of the little drum. So I did that. And then the other thing that I got to start working on, and I have dangling thread. So let me just pull this through so that,
to the back.
Yes, pull it through to the back. I'm working on my cats on a pumpkin. So
what was that one for?
This is for my homework this week, which is
something haunted or something?
No. A project that has an anniversary close to the date. And so I don't remember when I started this, but I do know that I bought this because it's a Rosewood Manor design, and Faithwurks had a trunk show with Rosewood Manor at camp. It was our virtual camp in October of 2020. and I bought this pattern at that camp. So the anniversary for this pattern is coming up for me. And so I am working on this. I need to get 500 stitches put in. So I filled in, starting from this little row of dots right here, I filled in up here, and then I'll be doing the stem of the pumpkin and down the side, and some of the wording that says Happy Halloween.
Good.
So I will be almost finished with this project when I get the homework done.
That's good.
So yes.
Yes, that year for camp, we didn't get to do camp, of course, because of COVID.
Everything was shut down.
So we did it virtually, but then for those of us here in town, we got to go out to Nancy's house, and she had the boutique set up, and so we still got to go shopping.
Yes, and she had it scheduled so that we were like only
four people at a time.
Depending on how big the space was at her house, we all had to wear masks and hand sanitizer and all that stuff. Yes, she didn't check our temperatures when we went in.
She didn't.
But I mean, we're all friends. Nobody wanted to make anybody sick. So I mean, everybody was very cautious. But it was a very different camp. But you know what? Nancy made it work.
And it was still fun.
It was fun. We all logged on to Zoom and stitched
and they
together.
Had people, like Nancy was there during the day, and then somebody else kind of took over the night shift because Nancy likes to go
to bed early.
And those of us that like to stay up late and stitch, we stayed up late and stitched and visited and chatted through Zoom. And so it was fun.
Kind of long days because they also did like a coffee in the morning.
Yeah, no, I'm not a morning person, so I didn't get up.
But I was, so I'd get up and I had my jammies still on and have my coffee and chat with the ladies, and it was fun. And then we stitched all day, and she had boxes for us to open at a certain time, and then we had our little projects, and it was, she just made it really fun. She really made lemonade out of lemons for sure. But anyway, it makes me super excited for camp.
I know, me too.
We have Camp Stitch More coming up in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's the last week.
October 27th.
The last weekend in October. So I guess 3 weeks.
I'm
weeks
very
away.
excited because I'm taking days off.
Very excited. So Marlene, what are you going to stitch this week?
Okay, well, I'm just still going to catch up on my college game day. I have one project left to finish for week 4, just Alabama Poison Garden. And then I just have 4 to do for week 5 because all my other teams either lost or they were on a bye.
Oh, okay.
And so I just have my top 4 teams to do.
Oh, so it won't take you long then. But you have to just only 100 stitches.
Yes, I have
because
to
tomorrow
myself.
They're going to play again, and then you're going to have to.
So yes, I have to control myself and only do 100
That's
stitches.
why I was able to catch up, because I limited myself 100 stitches, and let's get caught up. So
that's what
I'm going to work on. They have not posted homework for this week, this coming week yet. So I don't know what those homework tasks are going to be, but I do know that I have extra credit projects, and we're visiting the Royal Estate or whatever it is. And so we're visiting 2 rooms. One is the Halloween room, and one is the main kitchen. And for the Halloween room, I guess it's decorated like an old vaudeville show. So we could do anything that might have been in a vaudeville show. So there were animals in vaudeville shows. So I'm going to be doing Fall on the Farm.
Oh,
and I didn't bring it to show because we've showed it. I haven't stitched anything on it, but Fall on the Farm. And then the main kitchen, it said anything that could be used in one of the delicious dishes that they make in the kitchen. So I thought, well, they might make pumpkin pies or apple turnovers or something like that, because there's apples in Fall on the Farm, there's pumpkins,
so
there's
you're using
milk.
Fall on the Farm for both.
So I'm going to use Fall on the Farm for both. So I'm going to get to do 2,000 stitches.
Oh wow, you're going to get a lot done.
Yes, so that is what I'm going to be working on this weekend,
and then
as well as Camp Surprises.
Yes, I'm working on Camp Surprises too.
We have a lot of Camp Surprises.
I'm hoping to do Stitchtober.
And then of course, well, this of course is homework, so I want to get this one done. And I don't remember what my second homework project was.
Oh, I
I don't remember what it is. But
And
this one
Of
will
course,
be...
my two of my projects that are for college game day are also on my Stitchtober list.
Yes, mine
Prison Garden
too.
and Autumn Hydrangea Fall.
That's mine are
so
too.
I'll get to work on some of my Stitchtober things. So
while we do that,
yes. So anyway,
we last week ended our floss tube. And it's talking about how we were planning for next year and that if you all use planners or anything. So we want to give a great big shout out to a couple of people who have shared some different things with us.
Different ideas for planners.
Rosie, we know you watch, so thank you so much. We loved your idea and thank you for sharing. She shared a couple of different resources that come from the Silver Needle and in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so a great big shout out, Rosie. We love those. And so we're going to be taking a closer look at those. Also, Terry Flores had sent something, and she had sent a sample of a book that is available on Amazon. And so we liked that too. And then Mary from here in El Paso, Mary Havalik, thank you very much, because she uses a planner and she's going to bring it to camp because she's coming to camp. So we're going to look at what she does in her planner. So again, if you all use something to kind of keep yourself organized with your stitching, let us know, because we want to kind of look at ideas, and we'll certainly share with everybody because everybody organizes differently. And so it's nice to have a lot of ideas, and some people don't organize at all, and that's fine too. But I happen to be a list person. I like to be organized. And that's our here's Marlene and I's New Year's Eve. That's what we do. We set up for the next year.
That's what we do.
Everybody else goes to a New Year's Eve party. We have a little get together, just the two of us, and my husband. He gets to eat the appetizers too, and that's what we do. But anyway, it's fun every year. We look forward to it. So next week is going to be our 25th Floss Tube
episode.
Yes.
So we have something special that we're going to do.
We do. We have a giveaway for next week.
Do a giveaway.
So make sure that you tune in so that you can see it. And then if it's something you're interested in, you can let us know. You can tag us or something, whatever directions we give you.
We'll come up with something.
We'll come up with something. And, but on that note, you know what, Marlene? I wanted to show one more thing. One more Faithwurks design. And we forgot about it. We talked about it, and then I didn't get it to show. So let me get it. You entertain them.
Yes. I know which one it is you're going to go get. Yes. So yes, she'll be right back with it. So it's something, I think we've maybe showed it before, but I'm not positive. I don't remember either. I can't remember, but it's something really, really cute.
This was a Faithwurks design, and it was in a magazine, wasn't it? I believe it was in Just Cross Stitch.
Was it? Or was it?
I'm not positive.
I'm not positive.
No, maybe not.
Her Christmas one was. But
yes, I don't think the Halloween one was. This is her Halloween shadow box.
So cute.
We got the little, you could choose if you wanted to. We bought the little spell bottles that we glued on the top. And there was a little witch's hat that came, and I glued that kind of tilted on the side. And then the little saying, you say witch like it's a bad word, is the saying. The little haunted house.
So cute.
And then just all the Halloween spooky words. And then this one here. It was very fun.
It was really fun.
Really pretty fabric. She had done her model on the same fabric
that you're using.
I'm using on this
the
Something Wicked.
Something Wicked.
But at that time, that fabric was not available. And so she got this purple, and I think the purple is perfect. I love this purple fabric. And then I painted the shadow box black, and I did not make it shiny. And so it's another one of the things that I just love. Marlene and I each did this design.
Yes.
So we'd forgotten, and I wanted to share that. So because I really do love this. So I don't know what Nancy has available, but I know she would be happy to send you the pattern and any supplies that she has. So if it's something you want, I'll put Faithwurks contact information in the box, the description box. So keep that in mind, as well as the Lollipop Witch. I know that she would be happy to send you supplies. So we hope you all have a good week. Have a wonderful weekend. Stitch.
Yes, I'm stitching like crazy.
That's all I'm going to do. I don't have anywhere to go Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So I'm going to stitch all day long. Tomorrow, it's supposed to be rainy and cloudy here. It was rainy and cloudy all day today.
Almost all week.
It was. It was very rainy week. And you had a leak in the house again.
My skylight is leaking again.
So they need to come back and fix it. So I'm going to put soup in the crock pot for dinner tomorrow night.
Me too.
And I may run out and get tortillas from the tortilleria, or I may not. I don't know. I may look to see if I have beer bread here and anyway, so stitching all weekend long. That's what I'm going to do.
Me too.
And hibernate. So from us, Sun City Stitchers, remember that a day without laughter is like a day without sunshine.
So wherever you are, bring your own sunshine
and keep on stitching. We'll see you next week.